Happy Tuesday.
Hello.
That was really fast.
I'm so fast.
Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Tinker Mom. Let me turn this up. There we go. Hey, Suzanne. Wendy. Hello, Wendy Lou. Oh.
How was your nap?
Oh my God, it was so good. I was one of those naps you wake up and I was like, where am I? I was just so out of it. Hi, Sandy.
Oh my God. That sounds just dreamy. Welcome back to Jeff Lewis Obsessed, where we recap Jeff Lewis live every weeknight at 6 o'clock 6 o'clock California time. I'm Sarah in Texas.
Kelly in California. Hi, everyone. I see Valerie.
Whatever happened to your cheetah room?
Remember, I had the paper up on the wall, and Mateo, my love bug, went and ripped it down. Like a little piece of it came up, and he was just like, yeah.
Oh.
So it didn't really stick to the wall the way it needed it to.
Oh. Shout out Chumpets. Hi, Pina. Well, today was not a wet Wednesday. It was Heather McDonald and Zach Noe Towers. Did we ever decide, or if anyone knows, by the way, if anyone is new, welcome. If you have questions, comments, we love them. So keep chatting and comments. If you have a question, hit the question button if you want it to be private. If we don't see it, just ask it again. Sometimes it scrolls up a lot if there's comments, but
yeah.
Anyway,
Hi, Linda.
Did we ever decide if they had been on together or not? Heather and Zach?
Yes. Someone said it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. Did you think it was Wednesday? You said wet Wednesday.
Did I say another day?
You said wet Wednesday. You go, it's not wet Wednesday, it's Tuesday. Girl, she all fucked up. She don't know what she's doing. I chose to ignore it. I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
If Rocky was on, he'd be like, because you don't work. I'm like, you're right. But it's also Thanksgiving break. So I'm definitely out of sorts with the days.
Right. Absolutely. He has been on with Tori, MJ, Carney, but I thought he had been on the past with Heather, but I guess he wasn't. It wasn't him.
I think he was scheduled and something came up with her schedule. I think he was scheduled to go on with her and we were all worried about it. Shout out Cheryl. Hello. I was thinking about you at the gym today. I was like, I wonder how she's doing or if she's in Mexico. So I wonder if you're still on vacation. Let us know.
Hi, Cheryl. I thought he did great though with Heather.
I mean, for what he said, I mean, I literally, as I took notes, I was like, I literally have nothing to say about Zach. I mean, the only thing I remembered him adding was that, which was very interesting, the married guy that he dated for 8 months, I think, and they've since broken up because I think the husband and the other husband, he's still in Mexico. Good. I think they want to start a family. So he just realized it was going in a direction that he wasn't, you know, suited for him. But he said that they had separate homes. I'm like, oh my God. Is this a trend?
Perfect. I think that's perfect. But I did, I just don't understand.
I just ate some chicken wings. So I just came from the gym for an hour doing body pump. And then I came home and right before I left, Brian was like, oh, it was buy one, get one free for chicken wings. So I got a whole bunch. I'm like, so of course I come home and just have like 5 chicken wings dipped in ranch. Thick ass ranch from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ooh, it's protein. I was like, I don't understand how you could be number one married, live in 2 separate houses, and then have a partner on the side. I feel like it's just
like, why even get married? Like, what's the point? Trust me, there's no financial benefits to it tax wise. I don't think.
I think there is.
Oh,
there's like a write off.
I think there used to be.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
But I did got worse with taxes.
I did like what Zach said because I live by that too. And someone said, well, don't you want to fall in love? And he's like, no, I'm not a relationship bound person. And that's always how I feel. Like I did that when my younger year, you know, there's some people that just don't care. It's just not that big of a deal. To Jeff, very big deal.
Yeah.
He needs to be in a relationship. But a lot of, I mean, there are people that are just like, meh.
Yeah. And he's 38. He does look younger. By the way, I did post a link to his TV show. Well, I say TV show. It's on YouTube. He and his friend did a
Does it say We Twink or We Host or something?
We Host is the name of it, and today was about twinks. But they totally give this definition of twinks. First of all, it's like 18 to 24-ish, give or take. And as long as you look young, you can fall into the twink category. They're usually very thin. They're usually hairless. They're usually blonde, and they're usually poor. I've never heard that that about a twink? Oh, and they're usually a bottom. They're almost exclusively bottoms.
Okay, so I didn't know about the hair thing because like Jameson to me is a twink. Shane is still a twink. But Jameson has facial hair. I could get that they are poor because I think that they're always looking for it. It's like it's the opposite of the young housewife with the old gross man.
Oh, they're the person looking for like a
Daddy.
A daddy. Okay. A daddy or a bear. It was cute. It's only 15 minutes, so it's perfect for ADD people like me that want something very fast. It's really cute. It's worth
I gotta go check that out.
Worth a watch. Go support Zach Noe Towers on his subscription on well, I mean, I say subscription, it's free on his YouTube channel, Zach Noe Towers.
And also, what's his podcast? Welcome Sodomites?
Yeah. Good morning, Sodomites.
Good morning, Sodomites.
Good morning? Yeah, Good Morning Sodomites, which drops on Fridays. That's free. And then Juicy Scoop podcast, of course, drops Tuesdays and Thursdays. And she's actually going to have one on Thanksgiving. She's a worker bee.
She is. I'm wondering.
She hustles.
I'm wondering if Jeff has really big like ideas where he's like, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. And then when it comes time for it, he's like, no, I'm too tired. Like not pre-recording when he said he was going to pre-record.
I know. I can't figure out. And he never even said, oh, I said that, but it's also like somebody was DMing me today about him having a show. Cause of course I made a story about, I wish he would have another show, live show. Months ago, he was acting like he was going to have one in the fall. Oh yeah. We're going to get back to that in the fall. Well, it's late November.
No back surgery, no colonoscopy.
No back surgery, no colonoscopy. What else is he waiting on? His hormones to get better, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like everything is on pause right now. I think honestly, if I was in Jeff's head, which I've been in for 11 years, I would think that he would say, once I get my house, because he's supposedly in negotiation for a place.
I bet he's in the middle of that, because didn't he talk about going to the bank the other day and getting like a wire or something?
Well, he
Don't
said
you get a wire? We needed a bunch of money.
Yeah, he said they're in negotiation. So I'm thinking once if the house turns out and once he moves in and gets settled, I can imagine him saying, okay, now I'm going to do colonoscopy, back surgery,
Yeah, I just don't think a house frazzles him like it does most people. Like he can move and unpack like that. He's got people to help him, but it just doesn't stress him out like it does other people.
But I think with the back surgery, he wants to know everything's in place because he'll be incapacitated for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like he's running business and doing stuff like that. I think he just wants to know, like, I can recover.
Well, and Monroe just turned 6. She's in school 5 days a week, which she was for preschool, but this is like all day. 8 to 3 probably ish. So, anything with a kid always
complicates.
I don't want to say complicates, but makes things a challenge.
Complicates.
More. I mean, God knows my 5 are complicated, but it makes things more to deal with. Heather did start off with this hotel story. I guess I was kind of bored with it because I've already seen it all over her TikTok, all over her Instagram.
Oh, I see. I haven't seen it yet, so I didn't know. I do have to say,
did it alarm you as a woman?
Yes, but it doesn't surprise me.
Didn't alarm me at all. I want video proof.
Oh, I think that shit happens all the time. I have so many scary stories about creepers and creepers doing creepy things. I think that it was really weird. It was a weird story. Yeah, it was creepy. It was weird. Sorry, I was thinking about it.
It just didn't creep me out. I do feel like there's video cameras everywhere. I feel like they would have checked it out and they probably figured it was okay. I don't know.
I feel like she kind of dragged the hotel. Maybe she didn't mean to. Yeah. Oh, look, Annette's on.
Hi, Annette. Shout out. I'm going to meet you in a week from today in New York City.
I also,
by the way, if anyone is going to or is in the New York area and wants to join us, get on or DM me and get a ticket to Margaret Joseph's show on next Tuesday in New York City. Mm-hmm. And right after that is Amy Phillips' show. It's going to be so good. And it's Christmas in New York City.
I was surprised that Jeff said that he was pulling out Monroe from school again to go to New York.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh.
I mean, yeah, because he's there. I think he said today they fly in on Sunday and he's there Monday through Friday doing his show. She's going to miss a whole week. And then, of course, she'll be off from school for 2 or 3 weeks.
So why doesn't he just let Gage have her at that time? I feel like
he wants to take her.
I know, but it's a lot of school miss. I know people don't think kindergarten's a big deal, but it actually is. And so
Yeah.
I was just like, oh man. I mean, I get it when you're a
It's
single
true.
parent.
And, you know, we used to do commercials. So I auditions driving from Houston to Austin was like a whole all day thing. So I took my kids out of school quite a bit, but they were my kids were very academic. And so it was very easy for them to keep up. It never startled them. But now when I was a teacher for 3 years in the classroom and then 2 as PE, but 3 years in the classroom, even kinder and pre-K, it was just complicated because even with testing, you know, when we have to test for the report card, you need to pull those kids. And if they're out for 4 days, it's like, that's the week I needed to test you. And they don't understand. They're like, we're going to Disney because it's just kindergarten.
Well, and I think that also when they're that little, this has been my experience, when a kid is out of school for whatever, a day, a week, whatever, if they're sick or not, it's really hard to get them back in the routine. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta go back to fucking school. And it's like, yes, bitch, you gotta go to school.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Especially whenever you're not with every dad both days.
Right.
So when she's with him 24/7 almost out. Somebody said, why doesn't he just hire someone to homeschool her? No way would Jeff ever want to be known as a homeschool dad. No way in hell. And Monroe is like me, very social. My kids always wanted to go to school. They didn't want to be homeschooled ever. My kids are very social.
Yeah, but you know, I think there's also those kids that are, you know, when you wake up and you're cranky and you're like, I don't want to go. I think just like any kid would. Someone asked about Monroe's spelling. Monroe's doing fine with spelling.
Oh yeah.
She had the F, the 4, like I said, is an A. She had the 2 sounds in them. She's good.
Yeah. She'll be just fine. She'll be just fine. I think she's very amendable. Is that a word? Amendable? She's very She'll be fine with her schedule. Flexible. She'll be very good.
Amendable.
She'll be good. I did love, although I can't say it because if I say it, I'll get in trouble by Instagram, that she called the picture three girls and a whore.
3 gays and a whore.
What did I say? 3 guys?
3 goyles. I don't know what you said.
3 guys and a whore. I was combining whore and gay.
It's
3
funny
gays
because
and a whore.
We both heard it, thought it was funny. You were smart and you're like, text me right away. But of course, my dumbass put it as a comment under the coffee pic. Thank God.
I'm like, you'll get in trouble by Instagram.
Thank God the coffee pic's back. But yeah,
I wrote it. So, okay.
I still don't understand.
I feel like, let us know in comments what you feel like. I did tag him on my stories about it. So I can see who looks at my story. So let's just say he's aware of it. But I feel like he probably just got a lot of DMs about it and they figured, oh, we better keep doing this. I don't know. I feel like they were just wanting to focus on the videos maybe. I mean, they are really good. He wanted to just clean up his Instagram grid. I don't know.
I guess. But then now you have this like random coffee pic. You know, I need to go back and look today.
But I think every day, if he keeps doing it, it'll be up. I think he'll just delete old coffee pictures. But the videos he wants to keep up because that's more like a little snippet of the show. I don't know.
Right. But I also think that with the coffee pic, don't let me forget what I was going to say about the coffee pic.
I think so too, Charlotte.
Oh, I was going to say, I need to go back and look. Is there anything different about today's coffee pic as opposed to the other pics?
No, I mean, they're in front of, it looks like, was it in front of Sight Glass maybe?
Yeah, it looks so like
good. Somebody made Chef's do stuffing and said it's really amazing. By the way, Bethany made a stuffing today. I didn't compare exactly. It looked identical to the stuffing recipe. I'm sure it's very similar. It was like chicken, breadcrumb, the chicken sausage.
Right.
Very similar. What else was similar? Of course, carrots and celery and apples is really common.
That sounds so good. See, we're not having Thanksgiving here. Our plans got all screwed up. So Tyler and I are going to the kitty shelter to volunteer to have Thanksgiving with the kitties. But I did feel bad because she said, Mom, I really want turkey. I really want
go to a restaurant. There's restaurants that are open.
Yeah, hopefully we can find one because I'm like, I Thanksgiving's never been that big of a deal for me, but I did feel bad. She's like, I want to have the green bean casserole. And I was like, God damn it.
Aww.
I know. Ooh, the cauliflower
casserole got messed up.
The cauliflower.
That looked good too.
So
Very
good.
cheesy, didn't it? That looked so good.
I love cauliflower.
I do love the Spotify link that he sent out too, with like all this music. It's really good.
Absolutely.
Like, he's got really good taste in music.
Well, it's a good mix for Thanksgiving if you have people over. And from what we understand,
it is a good mix.
He's still going on with Jeff on Thursday, as far as we know.
As far as we know. I'll still share my turkey. Did someone offer to share your turkey?
Christina did say it can come up. She's all the way in snowy Minnesota. So I don't know if we'll be able to make it.
Fly to Minnesota?
Yeah.
Well, if you're flying anywhere, Houston better be your number one.
That's true. I can come to you and have, well, you're not even cooking. Well, I can have sweet tea.
I'm going somewhere that's having everything.
Oh, okay.
23 of us.
Wait, I have to ask you. So I don't know. I know what sweet tea is, but of course that's not like a Southern California thing. It almost looked like you had this big vat of apple cider vinegar. What was that?
Sweet tea.
Oh, it's already
a gallon
made.
Of sweet tea.
It's already made. I thought you were.
Yes. Yes.
So a sweet tea essentially is just iced tea with a lot of sugar?
Yeah. That's not a thing at like a restaurant in LA?
No.
I've never ordered sweet tea there.
No, it's very, very Southern. I mean, I just feel like, well, isn't it just, I always thought there was some special recipe, like it has maybe a little bit of caramel or something special. No. It's just literally.
So the way my mom made it at home.
Yes, tell me.
My mom made it at home. I don't know how, but through the coffee pot. So the sugar melted because it was burning hot.
Wow.
And then you put it over ice to make it cold iced tea. But if you did it that way, the sugar, if you do it with cold water, the sugar kind of gets at the bottom of it. Oh, Chick-fil-A definitely has sweet tea.
Okay.
Yeah. Delicious. I did love that they talked about how Heather, in the beginning of her marriage, would call Peter's mom and complain about him. And then she realized, wait, I've got 2 boys. And when they grow up and have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, partner, did I want them calling me and complaining about my kids? So then she stopped. I think that really hit with.
Well, yeah. And that's the thing. I don't think Stu reaching out to, I'm going to say stepmom, was that bad. Because I remember I had a boyfriend. Yeah. I've only done this once where I would talk to his mom because she was like, she knew he was a kind of an F up. And so she would try to like help me along, not manipulative, but I definitely reached out to her when he was being a turd butt.
Yeah. But it does sound like they've talked about it, and that's kind of, I mean, I know it's 9 months in, but it's always evolving, things that people have to work on and realize, hey, this bothers me or this came up. So to me, as long as they're working on things and realizing what works for Stu, what works for Jeff, that's really all that matters to me.
Right. And I wanted to touch on also the narcissist stuff, like that did a bunch of the tests. First of all, to be classified and diagnosed as a narcissist is pretty serious, and most of the population is not a narcissist. However, everybody has narcissistic traits.
Yes.
So I believe that, and honestly, and I'm not dogging on Tom Lewis, but I think that he had narcissistic traits, and when you usually have a parent with that, the child usually has some of those qualities. And again, Jeff brought up that story about Tom leaving him alone.
I know, at 13 years old. I still don't understand. I mean, I know Todd and Greg are younger. Is Jeff like 4 years older than them? Or 2? Maybe only 2.
Jeff is a lot older than Todd, but I don't know what the age difference. To me, it makes perfect sense. I had friends, their parents got divorced. One older kid would go to the dad so he wouldn't be alone. And then the younger ones that are probably still bonded to mom would stay with mom, because kids feel guilty. Not if I have a family of 4, kids feel like, who am I going to pick? So they kind of work it out where the older kids go there and the younger stay there.
I know, but my youngest is almost 13, and I know she's a girl, but my son just turned 15. And to me, there's a difference between 15 and 13.
Oh, absolutely.
I think at 14, 15-ish, you start thinking about your license. You start thinking a little. But I still think at 13, that's so young. Like, also to not be raised with your brothers. Like, why would you not want to be with your 2 brothers?
I'm sure he did, but I think he was picking loyalty and love for his dad. A lot of kids feel guilty, like they don't want their dad to be all alone. I think if it was up to Jeff. It doesn't
sound like he ever was. It sounded like he was always with a woman.
I know. I think if it was up to Jeff, he probably wanted to stay with mom, maybe. Or maybe even mom said, I can't afford all 3. And they opted.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
We know by the way things that Jeff talks about, it's not like they were ever hurting for money. Like he's talked about having nannies. He's talked about buying and selling homes. He went to a private college. Did he go to private school? I think he went to Catholic school.
Yeah, he did go to private school. The only time we ever heard about financial issues was that article about his mom. Yeah. That was some sort of victim advocate. That was the only time we ever heard about a money thing. Sorry.
And that never really talked about Tom. It just talked about her. But it's like, why wouldn't she have had, what do you call it? Spousal support?
Child support.
Or spousal support. I thought that was big in California.
Well, yeah, especially back then, alimony.
Yeah,
or whatever it's called.
But I do think there's different definitions of narcissistic. And the ones that I posted on my story are pretty generic. And I think they're related to all of them. I think everyone's a little bit, you know what I mean?
Right. But what I thought was funny was Alyssa in the background going, no, yeah, that's you. And Jeff was like, no. And I was like, yes, bitch, that's you.
Tell us in comments if you heard a few snippy remarks from Shane that I felt like Jeff was getting a little pissed off about.
Yeah, because he said, oh, that's you or something like, and Jeff was like, whatever. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, he was like, fuck off, I think he said at one point.
Yeah. But he wasn't wrong.
'Tis the season to speak up, Shane, and I think he was just telling it like it is, right? Plus, he just traveled with him, and anytime you travel with someone, it's just, you're with them 24/7. It's just a bit much, you know what I mean?
It is.
So I think they came in hot today because they've been with each other since Sunday.
Yes. Also, I was so happy because I love their Christmas promo. I think it's so cute. And I was like,
that's an old one, though, right?
The holidays
it seemed like it'd been a year since they said it.
The holidays have started. Jeff Lewis Live did their Christmas song. I love it. It's so cute.
I know. And he's famous for loving Christmas and listening to Christmas music. I think year round, doesn't he say?
I don't know about that, but I know in the classroom we started Christmas music already.
I love it.
And also the Christmas song has Andrew in it. He's like the second voice.
Oh, I missed that.
I think it's first Alyssa and the second voice is Andrew. And there was a voice for a long time that I listened to and I was like, who is that? And finally I sent Jameson a message and he said it was Jim Thompson, who again, he does not have an Australian accent. He's the one that calls him a white dragon.
Oh.
And the ad with Zoila, yes.
Oh my God, that was
surprise.
So cute.
That was a happy surprise.
Yeah, I'm curious if Jeff's Christmas decorations are up. You know what I mean? I'm sure. Do you think he outsources that? I'm sure he has someone do that, right? There's people now that come and do all your decorations.
Yeah, I don't know if he's done the outside. I don't see him doing a lot inside other than the tree and the elf.
Like down the stairs. I thought last year he had some stuff. I'm trying to think last year because last year they were at his house. They weren't back in the studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't really think I saw much.
I don't think he's a big inside decorator. I think
he is very minimal.
Yeah, I think as maybe Monroe gets older, maybe she's going to demand a pink Christmas tree for her room. I think would be so cute because I think if he decorated more inside, yes,
like someone could have.
See, one of the reasons I decorate so much is because I my kids well, my daughter likes it. But I just think it makes it more magical when you have all those cute little decorations inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially if you've got the money to pay someone else to do it.
I'll freaking do it.
But he's an interior designer. He's also got the talent to know, like, this looks good here. This looks good here. Gage already says he has 2 Christmas trees in his apartment, I guess.
Katie Robo has, I'm sorry if I wasn't supposed to say your name, Katie. Katie Robo. Do you all think Jeff and Jenny will ever reconcile? I do. I think
so. I
know Jeff wants to. I think it's on Jenny at this point.
Yeah.
And at some point, something's going to happen. Hopefully it's not like a tragedy, but they'll come together.
Oh, don't say, oh, yeah.
Well, no, because that's usually what happens. People, don't talk forever and then a tragedy happens.
Like a funeral?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or a divorce or, or somebody goes in the hospital or whatever. Unfortunately, tragedy brings people together.
I wonder if she is still trying to be like do commercials and
I don't
music
think
and
so.
rapping, or if she's kind of focusing on her daughters.
I think I don't know what else she's doing, but she just seems like a mom now. She's not as
Yeah.
gung ho about the rap
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
And she probably did Juicy Scoop as a favor. By the way, we would love if Jenny wrote us an intro for our podcast.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was going to say,
or rap, I should say, not an intro.
Watch What Happens Live uses her.
Yep.
Heather does. I've heard it somewhere else before. She's fantastic.
Yeah. I loved her. I loved Interior Therapy. If you haven't watched those 2 seasons,
So
I think
cute.
I bought it on Amazon Prime. It's so good. It's worth every bit of $9.99. It's such a funny, light brother-sister relationship that they show in Jenny and Jeff. It's so good.
Yeah.
And lots of Zoila.
Yes, it's different than Flipping Out. It's
Totally.
more, it just focuses a lot, I feel like, on Jenny's relationship and Zoila even more than it normally does.
Yeah, so good. So good. I didn't realize that Heather is the youngest of 5, but I'm around her same age. You and I both are. I totally agree with her. Kids were different of our generation. We were like totally alone at 9 years old. You know, you left the house and were gone all day. Parents didn't know where you were. That was
no cell phones. No cell phones.
No cell phones.
Had to trust your kid was okay. Absolutely. I can say as a teacher, like as soon as parents get there, they're just like, oh, and they take their kids' backpack off them. I'm like, what?
Yep.
And they
hold it themselves.
They hold it themselves. They take their water, any papers, and then the kids just like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, they're fine.
I know.
They're fine.
Yeah. I do feel like parents are way more like, I think, did Jeff use the word helicopter?
Up their ass?
Pretty much. I do feel like parents are way more that way.
But Jeff's a bit helicopter. I think Jeff's a bit of a helicopter parent.
I mean, I don't think she's in a situation yet for him to be, because I don't think she's gone much. I don't think she goes to like play dates. You know, by 6, any play dates, I was with my kid. She's not anywhere without him or an adult or a nanny or Gage.
Well, I was going to say, I think he's a bit helicoptery when she goes to Gage. He worries about what's going on over there. But I guess that's normal. I guess that's on a helicopter.
Yeah. I didn't really understand what?
I said I'd take it back.
I didn't understand what Zach was saying. He is the middle kid, but he's a recovering poor white trash.
I think that it just means like they lived somewhere else and they didn't have a lot of money. I know he talks about, and then he moved here to LA and he feels like he's like, I don't want to say graduated from that status, but I guess graduated from that status.
I can sort of see what he's talking about. Like if you don't grow up wealthy and you come to LA, you probably are surrounded by so much wealth, especially since he's in the entertainment business.
Well, not only that, if you're able to move to LA, number one, that's a big thing. And then make a career here too, that's another big thing. So
yeah. What'd you think of the Cheesecake Factory? I love their menu. It is ginormous though. You can literally stare at it and be like, oh my God, what am I gonna eat?
You know, in the past, I thought about getting a job there in the summer, and I was like, I can't. Their menu is too effing big. Like, I would never be able. There's just too much.
Yeah,
but
I love the same thing though. I get for lunch the Renee, and it's like a half chicken salad sandwich and this salad that's like ginormous.
But I was like, oh my gosh, come on, let's live a little. That's all you're gonna get is a half sandwich and salad.
It's huge. And if you look at the calories, trust me, there's nothing healthy about it at all.
Oh,
and I don't want to share the calories. It is on their skinny menu, though. It's called Skinnylicious there. And when she said that, I was like, I definitely get off the Skinnylicious menu.
Personally, I love when they have the calories because it gives me like a gut check of like, all right, you really want to do this? You want to inhale 2,000 calories? Go ahead. And sometimes I'm like, no, I don't want to do 2,000 calories at 8 a.m.
Well, and sometimes things are surprising. Like until you get the numbers, you're like, holy shit, if that's 1,200 calories and that's 12, then I'm eating that. Like some things are misleading.
Exactly.
They seem healthy and they're really not.
Exactly. And I think a good marketing thing is if you advertise less calories for something, I'm probably going to pick it.
Yeah, that's true. I do love the Cheesecake Factory. I love their cheesecake, but I want the chocolatiest. I think I get a turtle one. I think I've gotten one called Hershey's something that has like, it's like total chocolate.
I really like their bread basket. In fact, I've even bought their brown bread. They used to call it squat bread. I forget what the other name is. That's more appropriate. But anyways, it's really good.
Rye bread?
No, it's not rye. It has another name. I don't know.
Katie says, I know if I'm having Cheesecake Factory for dinner, I'll starve myself all day for those calories. You're definitely a Jeff Lewis listener. You use the word starve and having a big meal. Like, you're definitely a Jeff Lewis live listener. Love it.
By the way, I have to add this. I finally realized, Miss Herrera, you need to have a straw, because every time I watch Jeff Lewis, like, he has a drink by him, but it's always with a straw, because I never realized how much noise ice made. So that's all. Thank you. More professional.
And people are always obsessed with what you're drinking. I'm like, it's water, people.
And not only that, I don't think that I have a really dry mouth. Pumpernickel bread? No, not pumpernickel. And so I have to drink all the time. I hate it. It's horrible.
Dry mouth. Wonder what that's from.
I think it's for medication.
I love the talk of Costco hot dogs. They are delicious. I mean, Costco hot dog, it's like the biggest beef
weenie.
So good. They smell so freaking good.
When Zach said that, I got it and I laughed, and I even put in a comment. I was like, I got your hot dog joke. You know, when I go there, like because I don't go there that often, but when I went last time, I saw a bunch of people get like the vanilla yogurt, but it looks like there's a fruit parfait.
There is a parfait there too.
Yes. And I was like,
yogurt parfait.
Yes. A lot of people had that. So I was like, that must be good. I'm going to try that next time.
No, I go all out with the hot dog. It's so freaking good.
Marty, I also hate hot dogs, but you have to have a good hot dog at least once or twice a year. And sorry to my pig friends. It's squad bread, but there's a better name. I'll find it.
I can't think of what it is. Anyways, I do love how he ended the show with the TSA asshole. And that's another part where he was acting like he's like, oh, I'm very nice. And even Heather was like, no, I'm never rude to people because I never want it to get out that I'm being rude. And he's like, oh, no, I was real nice. And Shane was like, oh, no, you called him an asshole.
Exactly. And I refuse to let one person ruin my day. Like, their job sucks. So even if somebody is like, maybe if I'm feeling vulnerable and upset, but usually if they're rude, I'm like, fuck, I'd be rude too after dealing with fuckers all day. I mean, I get it.
But I do understand what he's saying, because you either have, my experience is I either have the nicest people telling you over and over again, take your belt off, take everything out of your thing. Don't forget to take your shoes off. Put your stuff right here, honey. Or you have like the rudest people. Now, people are usually nice to me. I don't know why, but I do understand what he's talking about. They're either one extreme or another. They're either so nice or they're assholes. But I love that Shane was like, oh no, you called him an asshole.
He's like, under my breath.
And he was like, no, you said it. He said something about you do nothing subtle.
Yeah.
You're not subtle about anything.
There's
and I was like,
subtle about you, sir.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh my gosh. I did see Heather's Costco thing. I kind of want to see what, is she wanting a bracelet? What is she wanting from Peter? It's $8,000.
I don't know. I just heard about the rings. I'm sorry. I don't want a blue ring or a chocolate colored stone ring. That does not sound pretty to me at all. She was talking about that. And I was like,
oh, is it a brown diamond? Are there brown diamonds?
I don't know. But she said they were both 800 and Jeff was like, no, because that's only 1,600. I just remember that part.
Oh, yeah. I always just let TSA
me
yell
too.
at me. It makes me laugh.
Me too. I just I get it. After rounding up little kitten children, 24 of them, by the end of the day, I am a TSA agent. I'm like, get in line.
For sure. Oh, leaf earrings for $8,000. Ooh.
Leaf. What does that mean? They're in the shape of a leaf?
I think they must, which would not be my thing, but $8,000 earrings, I'd be in for that for sure.
Well, absolutely. I would just want it to be a diamond, but a leaf, I got to see what it looks like. Unless it's
maybe
something
the design. Cute. Maybe the design. It goes.
I would say, is it one of those things that like wraps around your ear? But that's
I cannot see Heather doing that. Yeah. She's pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any more questions, put them in comments or hit the question bot at the bottom. We love your comments. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Kelly's going to wrap up with music and then we'll be done.
So we went all the way back to 1998, Praise You by Fatboy Slim, and also 1999's hot hit Body Rock by Moby.
Body Rock. Which one was that?
Nonstop, girl. Dun, 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 dun. I don't remember the words. You got to.
I think I see a video clip.
Oh, you bitch. I don't know the words. That's the song, though. I just know the beat.
I love it. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Tell us who's on tomorrow.
Carney, Wilson, and Doug.
Oh, yay. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.